want a Mishkan tefillah, or are you okay?
I've got.
Okay. Remind me to tell you next week, if you remember, something that Erev told me yesterday. Just say something, yeah, if you remember. If not, I'll try.
Erev Tov and Shabbat Shalom. As people are entering and getting settled, we'll sing a little nigun, a melody, to help us start to just create this space with each other. A melody that will also be returning later on in the service.
Shabbat Shalom. How good it is that we come together, brothers, sisters, friends, in harmony. The words of Hine Ma Tov Umanaim, page 128.
Hine Ma Tov Umanaim, Tevet Achim Gam Yachad. Tov Manayim, 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 Tevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, Tevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine ma מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
With all the joy of Shabbat and the delight of our Temple Bethel Men's Club helping to co-lead our worship, we start our services this evening thinking and praying for all of those celebrating Shabbat at Temple Israel of West Bloomfield, Michigan. Yesterday, a man drove a truck through the doors of Temple Israel and opened fire. It was a terrible anti-Semitic attack, and it could have been much worse. Thank God that it wasn't. Due to good training and good security and heroic teachers and security guards, and no doubt some luck, all of the staff, children, and families at Temple Israel are celebrating Shabbat with their families this evening. Yet let us not let the relief of what could have been worse mask our deep concern. These types of attacks are too familiar and too common. 3 synagogues in Toronto were targeted this past week. Arson consumed a synagogue in Mississippi last month. I spend so much of my time thinking about Temple Bethel, not just our people and our programs, but our security and our relationships with police. I spend so much time trying to react to these incidents in a measured, wise, and serious way. Not to trivialize threats, we're well beyond that, but to not exacerbate panic and pain. I'm sure that many of you are nervous and angry as well. Maybe you wish, as I do, more people would reach out to check in on you and your children. Too often, anti-Semitism gets diminished or dismissed. We know how real and pernicious it is. I'm heartened by some of the outreach I received. Eldana Hazen, the senior minister of First Congregation United Church of Christ, the chief of the Madison Police Department, John Patterson. I know for many here tonight, it might have taken some courage even to come in these doors. And I'm glad you're here. Your presence is Jewish resilience at its finest. We gather for prayer and silence, for grief and joy, for song and delight, for connections to God and to one another. Shabbat is upon us. We're here together. There is no better place to be. Marty Megeff will light our Shabbat candles on page 120.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel
Shalom Aleichem is on page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharim, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem l'shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch.
We'll keep welcoming Shabbat with the words of Lecha Dodi. Turn back a few pages to 138. Sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Before verse 9, we'll rise, turn towards the door, welcome the Sabbath bride, and remain standing.
Lecha Dodi Erat Kala B'nei Shabbat Mekabela Lecha Dodi Erat Kala B'nei Shabbat Mekabela Zamor v'zachor v'dibor echad Yishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad Adonai echad u'mo echad Hashem kol tiferet ve'elikah Lecha Dodi Erat Kala B'nei Shabbat Mekabela Lecha Dodi Erat Kala B'nei Shabbat Mekabela Erat Shabbat V'necha Mekor HaBeracha B'machshavat tchila Lecha Dodi Erat Kala B'nei Shabbat Mekabela Lecha Dodi Erat Kala B'nei Shabbat Mekabela Itoreri Va'ordek u'miori Uri shir daberi V'od Adonai Alayich nigra Lecha Dodi Erat Kala B'nei Shabbat Mekabela Lecha Dodi Erat Kala B'nei Shabbat Mekabela Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala Kam b'simcha u'b'tzola Ochem unei am segula Boi chala Boi chala Lecha Dodi Erat Kala B'nei Shabbat Mekabela Lecha Dodi Erat Kala B'nei Shabbat Mekabela
Chadodi welcomes the Sabbath bride. Please stay standing. We're going to welcome one another. So turn to someone that you do not know or you haven't not seen in a long time and wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Valentina, nobody's saying hi to you. That's what happens when you sit in the front. $140. Just go.
Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat.
Tov lehodol Adonai. Tov lehodol Adonai. Ulezamer, ulezamer leshicha elyon. Tov lehodol Adonai. Tov lehodol Adonai. Tov lehodol Adonai. Ulezamer, ulezamer leshicha elyon. Tov lehodol
Adonai.
Hagid baboker chasecha. Hagid baboker chasecha. Emunatcha baleilo, emunatcha baleilo.
Tov lehodol Adonai. Nehagi baboker chasecha.
Hagid baboker chasecha. Emunatcha baleilot, emunatcha baleilot.
Tov lehodol Adonai.
Call to worship is on 146.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
Steve? Right in the mic, Steve.
This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah
Adonai HaMa'ariv Arav. Continuing on page 150. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Amcha ahavta ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו אורך ימינו ובהם נגי יומם ולילה, נגי יומם ולילה. אהבתך אל תסיר לעולמי, ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם.
Leolam Vaed. Be seated. Page 154. Mark Fink will lead us in the words from the book of Deuteronomy via Hafta. (154). Mark has certainly run the gamut of both burdens and blessings this week. But one of the blessings is he is a new grandfather again. How many is this?
It's number 7.
Number 7. Anybody else become a new grandparent this week? Ask Mona. Fred will invite you forward to read our meditation of Vihafta on page 156.
In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Bye 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 ya bye 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 bam ya bye bye bam ya bye 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 bam ai na 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 ya bye 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 bam ai na 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 ya bye 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 bam Chamocha bainim Adonai Chamocha nedar bakodesh Torah teilot osefele Torah teilot osefele Alechutecha ra'uvanecha Yamim Moshe u'Miriam Amaru Adonai lo leolam va'ere ya bye bye bim bam 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 ay la 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 ya bye bye bim bam ay la 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 ya bye bye bim bam Arkiv Adar et Yaakov ugealo v'yad chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael.
Page 160.
Adonai Eloheinu Shalom Hamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim Ashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom Hamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim Ushmor Tzeiteinu
You do this one, Cantor.
I want to invite all of the men's club members present to come up here, actually. There's been a custom that goes back to a former member of the men's club, Lou Swidarski, Alav Shalom, who had a particular Shabbos song that he loved to sing with gusto and schmaltz, which is appropriate for the text on page 162. It says that the Jews will call Shabbat an oneg, a delight. So what a delight to have members of our men's club up here. You can come a little bit closer if you want. And to channel the spirit of brotherhood, but also and the delight of Shabbat, and also of a dear departed friend as well. What more of a joy could that actually be for us? So page 162, Yismechu.
All of those who keep Sabbath delight will rejoice in your realm. I'm told that these fine gentlemen will be kicking off concerts on the square this summer with the Temple Beth El Men's Club Yismechu. Just visualize all of those Gentiles on blankets, hanging out, getting ready for a beautiful evening.
And they're all going to join the choir.
We'll invite you to rise on page 164 as we enter the sacred words, the tefillah of our standing prayer.
Adonai
Goes through page 183. We'll continue silent. I think you should introduce Joe. Why don't you do Joe right after this song? I did hear you say it. I'm sorry.
Ratzon.
In great faith, only live on Adonai, Turi, Adonai. acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. You Leratzon Imrefi
Vehegion libi lefanecha.
Adonai Suri
Ego ali Adonai Suri Ego ali.
Good evening. I'm Sanford Karimi and current president with the Men's Club, and I welcome you all to this Shabbat service. It is my pleasure to introduce someone who enriches Temple Bethel community in so many meaningful ways. Many of us know Joe through his extraordinary musicianship. His cello playing elevates our High Holy Days services and so many other moments throughout the year. You know, Joe became a professional orchestral cellist just at the age of 16, performing with Green Bay Symphony and soloed with multiple orchestras, and has spent several decades teaching and inspiring young musicians. We're truly, truly blessed to experience his gifts here at Temple Bethel. But Joe's talents do not stop or end with music. He actually earned an MBA degree here at UW School of Business back in 2018 and went on in 2019 to be selected as one of the youngest CEOs of the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra, a role that blends his artistic insights with thoughtful nonprofit leadership. Joe also serves here at Temple Bethel as a dedicated member of our Board of Trustees, and personally as a fellow board member. You know, have seen firsthand how he brings clarity, steadiness, and a knack for asking the questions that we all wish that we had asked and said. Tremendous insight. Tonight, we're very fortunate to learn from someone who brings together both artistry, intellect, and heart. Please join me in welcoming Joe Lanus.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Sanford, as well as the Men's Club, for asking me to offer words tonight. It's great to be here. And thank you, Rabbi, Cantor, and the staff at TBE for creating these spaces for all of us. I'm grateful for the intention, the music, and the community that comes together during these services. They connect and transform us. On November 22nd, 2012, my wife, Evan, then girlfriend, and I were sitting just outside the security line at the Chicago O'Hare International Airport. I was about to board a flight to Myanmar to participate in a 60-day silent Vipassana insight meditation retreat under Buddhist meditation teacher Seoji U Pandita. The retreat was for 120 practitioners from around the world, and the instructions were simple. No talking, no reading, no writing, no eye contact, and do everything in slow motion while meditating 14 hours a day for 60 days. Evan and I were in love, and I knew I had found my person. But I also knew I had to find out if my calling in life was to live in the proverbial cave and liberate my mind through intensive meditation practice. We both knew the stakes were high, and credit to Evan for knowing I had to take this trip, while also wondering if we would ever see each other again. To entice me to come back, she gave me a brown paper bag with my favorite childhood lunch, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, nacho cheesier Doritos, and a stack of double-stuffed Oreos. How did I get to that moment? Looking back 1 year to 2011, several major inflection points happened. In July, I randomly met Evan outside of a grocery store in Milwaukee and left my business card on her bike. In August, I competed in the PGA Tour's qualifying tournament to fulfill a lifelong dream of playing on the PGA Tour. And in December, I auditioned at 5 graduate schools to attain a doctoral degree in music and cello performance to prepare for a career as a professional cellist. Falling head over heels for a girl from Milwaukee after a chance encounter outside a grocery store, coming up one shot shy of advancing to the next stage of the qualifying tournament, and getting an acceptance letter to UW-Madison but turning down the offer to attain my doctorate, left me questioning what was next for me. Pair those 2011 events with my growing meditation practice and a deepening question of what I wanted out of this life, I was, in 2012, shall we say, seeking answers. Now, back to that moment at O'Hare with Evan. We said our goodbyes, and I got on the plane. During the flight, while turning my double-stuffed Oreos into quadruple-stuffed Oreos by combining 2 frosting sides into one giant cookie, I was reflecting on those big moments of 2011 and why I would leave Evan, potentially never to see her again. On Thursday, November 29th, 2012, I began my 60-day retreat with 120 yogis from around the world, hoping to find an answer. Just 2 days into the retreat, I knew that taking the robes and living the life of a monk in a cave was not for me, and that I needed to return to the world. Before I did that, though, I had 58 more days of formal practice. In addition to the 812 hours I had left to meditate, several things happened. First, I missed music. Fortunately, every morning at 11 a.m. in some neighboring city, a DJ played the then famous K-pop hit Gangnam Style by artist Psy. Its catchy bass line and funky dance that caught the world by storm scratched my musical itch. While my physical body was in a meditation pose, I may or may not have paused my Vipassana insight meditation for those 4 minutes each day so I could follow along to the music and imagine 100 Burmese citizens surrounding the loudspeakers doing the Gangnam Style dance. Second, I missed community. When you can't talk to or look at anybody for 60 days, noticing the intricacies of people's feet became a connection point. Thankfully, every afternoon at 4 p.m., we were all given a glass of mango juice to drink, and those brief moments together sitting in a circle were golden. We felt the weight of our collective effort and sacrifice to be there. We also felt the shared gratitude for the afternoon calories and sense of togetherness. After 60 days, I knew I gave myself a great gift by taking that amount of time for formal practice. I was ready to return. As if the world needed to give me another sign that I was making the right decision, back in the city center, I met the Burmese nun who was our English translator from the retreat. She was a U.S. citizen who grew up in Milwaukee and played the cello. I returned to Milwaukee on February 5th, 2013. A week later, Evan and I were engaged. For this week, the week of March 13th, the Torah portion is Parashat Vayikra, the opening of the book of the Leviticus. Vayikra reminds us that closeness, whether with God, with others, or within ourselves, is something we build through small, intentional acts. We repair relationships not by grand gestures, but by showing up, acknowledging our missteps, and choosing connection again. We all need ways to reconnect after conflict, after mistakes, or simply after drifting. Vayikra teaches us that closeness is something we create through intentional action. A modern meaning could be that spiritual life isn't about ritual perfection. It's about showing up with honesty, humility, and purpose. I did not grow up Jewish and converted to Judaism the day before I got married in August of 2014. Like my Buddhist practice, I love that Judaism is not an intellectual exercise. It requires courageous action using all our faculties of mind, body, and spirit. I always thought this is particularly important as a convert, As I do not have a childhood of memories, holidays, and events to draw from, but now 12 years into my commitment of being Jewish, I believe courageous action is required by all of us, convert or not, to feel and be Jewish. My first High Holy Day service was with Evan back in 2011, where I heard Kol Nidre sung. After the first two notes, the song was instantly recognizable. Composer Max Brooks scored Kol Nidre for solo cello and is part of the standard cello repertoire, a piece I learned in the late 90s. I find it ironic, but not necessarily surprising, that I was forming my Jewish neurological circuitry long before I committed to joining the Jewish community. To me, music is transformative. It connects us to each other and to ourselves. One note or a series of notes can create a feeling or spark an idea that can change the trajectory of a life, a community, or the world. In my professional capacity, I lead the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra in bringing over 250,000 people together each year through music. What a privilege. It never ceases to amaze me that you can take a group of people with the most divergent lived experiences, political views, or lifestyles, and bring them together through music and watch and feel their shared experience and connection once the music starts. This never became clear to me than in 2025 at a Concerts on the Square concert. A large protest was forming outside of Monona Terrace, where the protesters were protesting the conference that was happening inside. We were preparing for the protest to walk up to the Capitol and use the concert to share their message. I was ready for a major disruption. Instead, at 6:59 p.m., 1 minute before the concert was to start, Madison police radioed over our walkie-talkies. The protesters are putting their signs in their cars and are walking up to the square with the conference attendees. It appears they're all coming up together to enjoy the concert. Music is uniquely and universally capable of achieving unity and connection. When preparing for tonight, I talked to Rabbi Prosnit for some inspiration and guidance. In that conversation, he said, "When the world is fast, we need to slow down. When the world is greedy, zero-sum, status-seeking, materialistic, we need art. When the world is individualistic, we need community. At the intersection of slowing down, art, and community, there's connection and transformation. I love our TBE community. In the days, weeks, and months ahead, may we all bring intention as we collectively strengthen our Jewish practice, our Jewish community, and the larger world. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Joe, for a beautiful Devar Torah, interpretation of Torah, for offering us the challenge to bring in all of your gifts and all of your talents to this tabernacle that is Temple Beth El. Our prayer for healing, Mishaberach Lecholim, is in the middle of page 253. If you're praying for somebody in need of healing this Shabbat, I invite you to share their name out loud at this time so we can add them to our prayer. Page 371. If you're praying for someone in need of healing, I invite you to share their name at this time.
Bobby Zimmerman, Margot and Coleman, Terry Salmon. Peter Duncan.
Source of strength.
before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We once again rise on the top of 586 for words of Aleinu L'Shabbat.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, v'aseitu l'yotzei b'reishit, she'ul m'shamayim v'yoser haaretz, moshav yikablo, v'shamayim v'ima'ayim, she'inam tzolevotei meromim, Eloheinu ne'inod, אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ועומדים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. 590 הכתוב תורתך נעים כל זעונך בעת ונאמר היה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Have a seat. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. If I read the name of your loved one, I invite you to rise in their honor. Then we'll rise as one community to say words of mourners Kaddish together. In this period of Shloshim, the first 30 days since passing, our community remembers Barbara Vlock, Bonnie Denmark Friedman, Karen Mulver, Jerome Fishbane, Alexander Durand, Alice Levine, and Elaine Burke. On this period of Yahrzeit, the anniversary since passing, we remember with love Leon Applebaum, Larry Berkner, Joseph Block, Reba Brager, David G. Bress, Alan Berman, Judith Joya Lusa Chickarell, Morris Jules Koff, Robert Cohn, Bertram Ehrlich, Max H. Feingold, Stephen Feim, Jessica Foreman, Lindy Goldstone, Joseph Halprin, Yvonne Herlitzka, Jeanette Hirsch, Ray A. Hubbard, Marilyn Jacobs, Meyer Cohn, Sadie Kramer, Mark Lessing, Frida Lubing, Mo M. Mitzman, Florence Nadel, Esther Alice Paler, Arnold Patz, Joanne Roginski, Selma Ziegler Sachs, Barbara Fish Saltzman, Edward Schindler, Dr. Donald Schuster, Morris Schwartz, Blanche Cohn Schwartzstein, Riva Skylar, Jean Silverberg, John E. Siniko, Stanford Thal, and Sam Ullman. If you're thinking of somebody else whose name I did not read, invite you to rise and share their name out loud at this time.
David Maidenberg.
Charles Dreisen.
Jerome Behar.
Andy Bruner.
We rise as one community. $598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah. Yamad divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon v'yomechon. Uv'chayei tehol beit Yisrael. V'agala uv'izman karib v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah nivarak ve'elam olmei almaya. Yiparak v'yishtabach v'yipahar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei drusha b'rihu. Ve'ela minkol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Ta'miram b'alma b'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, u'yasei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all people everywhere, to which we say, Amen. Have a seat. Many thanks to Sanford leading our terrific men's club. They are the ones that sponsored our Oneg Shabbat tonight, both before and after, so we encourage you to linger and schmooze and say hi to everybody, especially if you're new here. If you here often, look for someone who might not be here so often and make sure that they feel the warm and welcome embrace so they too can sing Yismechu next year during this service at some point. In all seriousness, Sanford and crew, thank you so much for leading our men's club in such joy and fraternity, not just tonight, but throughout the year. We really admire all the work that you put into it, as well as so many others. As you know, each month we collect for a tzedakah, an important organization. This month we are collecting for the Israeli Movement for Progressive Judaism, IMPJ, which is a really important movement in Israel, especially with all the challenges that this war has taken on the civilian population in Israel. They do everything from work to bring mental health support to those, to reach out to underserved communities, a really important organization. All the time, and especially this month. So we ask you to be as generous as possible, either in the tzedakah box right outside the door there, or making a donation on the Bethel webpage, or sending a check to the synagogue marked tzedakah. Kendra's going to introduce this really fun closing song. It fits with the day, or it fits with Shabbat, as well as Men's Club Shabbat song.
And we could sing it any time, but it's especially nice to sing it now. We'll have words up on a slide. We actually sang it as a nigun, as a melody at the very beginning of the service. But let's like sing. We'll sing like a nigun verse. Basically, we're here as friends and brothers. We all sing with one another, and as friends we stick together. Oh, the storms that we could weather. What a joy to be able to sing it this Shabbat. We'll sing it as a nigun first, and then a little bit of Yiddish, and then a little bit of English.
stick together, oi, oi, stick together. All the storms that we can weather, oi, oi, oi. Ay, 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 ay,
Invite Mike up to lead us in Kiddush. We'll ask you all to rise. We talked about some other joyful things that happen as Mike comes up. Is anybody celebrating anything good that happened to them this week? Maybe a big birthday? Paul? Judy, what's up?
Finished trip in Los Angeles and danced the night away last
All
week.
right, Judy. Burning the midnight oil. Niles?
A publication of a new Haggadah by the CCAR that our daughter Sarah was the editor.
Yes.
Mazel tov. Anybody else? Birthdays or anniversaries? Anybody make a putt to make the PGA Tour? All right, let's say the words of Kiddush together, page 123.
Baruch Adonai Elohim melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah Shabbat kodsho ve'ahava u'ratzon hinti lanu, zikaron l'maaseh Yom Tefillah Lemikra Kodesh Zeher Litziat Mitzrayim Anu Vakarta Viltanu Kidasha Mikol Amim V'Shabbat Kodshecha Ve'ahava Uvra Baruch Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
L'chaim. Have a sit, Mike. And if you're out there under the age of bar mitzvah and you want to join us up here for Motzi, Winnie and Sage and Birdie and Levi and Sonny and Ezra, come on up, don't be bashful. We need your help for Motzi. Come on up. If you need to bring a parent, you can bring a parent too. Or any grown up. Raphael, is that coming up? And we'll say the words of Motzi. I'll come over here. How about this? This will be easier. I'll come right here. And join with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everybody.